10, and 11, yes. Just a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. While I have this opportunity, I'd just like to thank everybody for being here tonight, and please excuse us as we do this quick microphone check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, yes. Here we go. Microphone check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, yes. Again, thank you everyone for being here today. We are just doing a quick microphone check. Please excuse us as we do this quick check. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, yes. Once again, thank you for being here, everyone. We're going to do a quick microphone check. Please excuse us as we do this check. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, yes. All right, everyone, it's almost that time. Again, thank you for being patient with us during this microphone check. Hopefully just a little bit longer, and we're going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, yes. Here we go, shotgun microphone check. On stage, shotgun microphone check. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and... Microphone check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, yes. Thank you for being here, everyone, and please excuse us as we do this quick microphone check. Quick mic check, 1, 2. Quick mic check, 3, 4, yes. Here we go with a microphone check.
your body.
Yes, we can. I know we can.
We can make it, y'all.
Yes, we can. I know we
Oh,
can.
yeah, we can make it, y'all.
Oh,
Only try.
yes, we can. I know we
Yeah,
can.
yeah, we can make it, y'all. Sometimes it's hard.
Yes, we can. I know we can.
Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard.
Yes, we can. I know we can.
Oh, we can make it, y'all.
If we want it, yes, we can.
I know we can make it.
I know that we can.
I know darn
land. Raise our food just like the man. Save our money, do like the mob. Put up your factory and own the job. We got to get over before we go under. Time in the joint. Lord. Country, do you know just what I meant? We just changed. We got a brand new funky president. I need to be the mayor so I can change the things around here. I need to be the governor. I need to be the governor. I need to be the governor.
Oh, suki, suki now. Hey! Come on, baby. Hey there, sugar dumplings. Let me tell you something, girl, I've been trying to say now. You look so sweet and you're so doggone fine. I just can't get you out of my mind. You become a sweet taste in my mouth now. And I want you to be my spouse so that we can live happily now, in a great big old roomy house. And I know you're gonna groove me, baby. Oh yeah, now make me feel good inside. Come on and groove me, baby. I need you to groove me. Oh yeah, now come on, come on. Hey, hey there, sugar dumplings. Come on, give me something, girl. I've been needing for days. Yes, some good loving with plenty hugging. Ooh, you cute little thing, you. Girl, between you and me now, we don't need no company. No other man, no other girl can enter into our world. Not as long as you prove me, baby. Oh, come on, make me feel good inside. Come on, groove me, baby. Move me, baby. Oh, sock it to me, mama. Oh, I like it like that, baby. Groove me, baby. Hey, groove me, darling. Come on, come on. I need you to sock it to me, mama. Come on, and now groove me, baby. Hey, good God, it make me feel so good inside, mama. Come on, and groove me, baby. Oh yeah.
Please be seated. The event will.
Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love. Now because you wear all those fancy clothes. Oh yeah. And have a big fine car. Oh yes you do now. Do you think I can afford to give
Please turn cell phones and personal electronic devices to vibrate.
than every star above, Mr. Big Stuff? Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love. Now I know all the girls I've seen you with. I know you broke their hearts one after another now, bit by bit. You made them cry. Many poor girls cry when they has a love that's true.
Please turn cell phones and personal electronic devices to vibrate.
Cause when I give my love, I want love in return. Now I know this is a lesson, Mr. Big Stuff, you haven't learned. Mr. Big Stuff, tell me, who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. You're never gonna break my heart, Mr. Big Stuff. You're never gonna make me cry, Mr. Big Stuff. Tell me, just who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff.
Over 400 years of colonization, the Nonotuck, Nipmuc, and Pecumtuck peoples were forcibly displaced from these lands. In the 17th century, the Nonotuck people responded to the ongoing settler colonial violence by seeking safety with their kinship connections in surrounding areas. In particular, the Pecumtuck's aid was vital to the survival of Nonotuck families. Many others joined their Algonquin relatives to the east, south, west, and north. We acknowledge our neighboring indigenous nations, the Wampanoag to the east, the Mohegan, Pequot, and Schaghticoke to the south, the Stockbridge-Munsee Mohican to the west, and the Abenaki to the north. Let us be mindful we are on stolen land, built up by the stolen labor of enslaved African peoples. Let us be mindful of the ongoing colonial violence that continues to range across the globe in places like Sudan, Congo, and Palestine, and our complicity in that violence. We are mindful of broken promises and treaties and the need to repair harm and make right with all of our relations. Let us commit and recommit to transforming injustice and restoring balance to our living planet. Truth, reconciliation, rematriation, and healing will only come with acknowledgement as a first step, followed by cultural and economic reparations and other restorative actions. Today, I invite you to think about your own relationship to these lands and the lands you call home. What commitments can you make to move towards right and reciprocal relations with Indigenous peoples and our shared planet? How can you take responsibility alongside others for transforming injustice wherever you find it. You can learn more about concrete reparative actions that you can take on the Living Land Acknowledgement page on the Hampshire website, where you'll also find a resource guide that we've developed. So I hope you check that out. Thank you very much.
Welcome. All right, first things first, artists deserve to be recognized, and this hat is the product of a Hampshire College students' artistic production, so thank you. And I'm going to take it off when we talk so I look serious if Newsmax clips anything. A major event like this requires an enormous amount of work to be successful. Would all the staff who are here working this event and attending to celebrate, and both simultaneously, please call some attention to yourself? Thank you for the work you do and have done to make it possible for these students to graduate. The faculty are the heart of the college, and the amazing work all of you completed to make it to Div-Free was enabled and supported by their dedication. They are seated over there, and please join me in thanking them. And of course, graduates, congratulations to you. So many of you chose to come to Hampshire in 2021 or 2022 in the midst of a global pandemic that impacted everyone in profound ways. I hope that you carry pride in the care this community showed, how you prioritized the well-being of the most vulnerable among us, even as the wider culture rushed to move on. I do. That commitment to collective responsibility, that insistence on acting ethically despite uncertainty, remains one of the most powerful things I've witnessed here. When Hampshire had fewer than 500 students, you took a leap into something fragile and unfinished. And that choice, your presence, made Hampshire's renewal possible. Thank you. Many of you here began your journey at New College, and 2 years ago, you stood on the front lines of a political project that has since gone national, an authoritarian campaign to silence inquiry, punish difference, and dismantle public education as a force for liberation. New College was targeted because, like Hampshire, it refused to compromise on the belief that education must be emancipatory, that it must honor the dignity, autonomy, and full humanity of every student. Despite your resistance, New College was remade in the image of its attackers, and that loss reverberates. We mourn it. But you chose not to let your educations be co-opted. You came here to continue asking urgent questions to build the future that the reactionaries fear. So the world that you graduates now enter, marked by backlash, disinformation, and growing repression, needs your defiance, imagination, and refusal to yield. Whether you began at Hampshire or arrived by necessity, what you carry forward from this place is vital. You are living proof that progressive education endures, not as a memory, but as a movement. Together, you face a future that is uncertain, unpredictable, and imperiled. But these are also the conditions under which reinvention becomes necessary and progress possible. The systems that organize our world, economic, political, environmental, are not simply failing, they are functioning exactly as designed to concentrate power, deepen inequality, and render justice invisible. And over the last 4 months, we have seen emboldened efforts to dismantle democratic participation, to ban the teaching of historical truths, to accelerate environmental collapse, to dehumanize LGBTQIA plus peoples, to criminalize migration and erase reproductive autonomy. These attacks are not abstract. They target many of you and your communities directly. They are rooted in white supremacy, in patriarchy, and authoritarianism. And they demand a response grounded in courage, creativity, and care. So if nothing else, the realities of recent years leave no room for denial. No one can claim not to see what is broken, not to recognize the violence of an action or pretend they didn't know better. Everyone now knows, or should, what you have always known, that to know is not enough. I've seen the ways that you graduates are already reshaping the world through organizing and protest, through art that unsettles and invites, through writing that refuses erasure, through research that insists on relevance, through building new systems, technological, economic, communal, that defy inherited limits. You do this not by replicating what is, but by imagining what could be. Hampshire's purpose has always been to transform what education makes possible. Your work begins where that mission points, not in theory, but in the world itself. So at this moment, charged with urgency and potential, our future depends on resistance that is both strategic and joyful, on alternatives that expose what is possible and communities committed to building them. I have no doubt that you will lead that work. You are exactly what the world demands, and you are why the world needs Hampshire College. So my time at Hampshire ends along with yours, or alongside yours, and like you, I will carry this place with me. I hope that you return often, as I certainly will. But more than visits, I ask you to take up the essential role of our alums, the role they have always played, to challenge Hampshire to remain true to its purpose, to push future versions of this college to keep experimenting, to embrace the transformation that defines us, to become what the future demands rather than what the past remembers. Hampshire's value lies in its refusal to stay still. If, when you return, it feels alien or even unsettling, that's a sign that the mission is alive. This place should surprise you. It should push against your assumptions, even the ones you picked up here. That dissonance is our compass. And so I wish for you what I wish for Hampshire. Lives full of the generative friction that drives change, the courage to pursue what has not yet been imagined, the clarity to know that growth begins where certainty ends, and the resolve to act. To take with you, too, a reminder from another institution of kindred spirit, that the natural state of human spirit is ecstatic wonder, that we should not settle for less. So thank you. And I now turn the stage over to Zainab Yurekli, the student moderator for Commencement.
Hello, everyone. I, Zainab Jayda Yurekli, I'm very grateful to moderate this year's commencement. Welcome to our graduation. I wanted to say, bienvenidos, hoş geldiniz, welcome to my family watching from Kazakhstan and Turkey, and to my family here. I would like to thank Javier Benavente for the language acknowledgement, Chair Fuentes for his speech, and thank you, President Wingenbach, for introducing me. But thank you more to our staff, the staff who are a part of Hampshire today, and the staff who were a part of Hampshire. Thank you to the staff who helped build our community. Thank you more to the 29 staff who didn't get a chance to say goodbye to, who I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to on their final work days in July and August of 2024, when they were unceremoniously laid off. With my continued appreciation and all my love for the staff who are still here, I would like to introduce our staff speaker, Jim Patton. This is Jim's 19th year with Hampshire College Post Office, and it's his 5th time in the role of staff speaker. I would like to welcome Jim.
Good morning and welcome, everyone. A custodial friend of mine told me I should start with a joke, and it's not in my script, so here it is. What did the postage stamp say to the envelope? Stick with me and you'll go places. That also refers to Hampshire College, so stick with Hampshire College, and you'll go places. Class, it is truly an honor to be selected as staff speaker for your commencement. I'm so glad to be able to send you off into the world knowing that you have the knowledge and skills that were provided from this place. Being able to get to know you and see the work you all put in is so rewarding to me. Many of you brighten my days just by stopping in to say hello while you're picking up your mail. Sometimes it was just to stop by and say hi, and I thank you for that. Seeing the projects you put together with the materials that we're ordering coming through the post office makes me feel like I was a piece of it all. I love that about my job. Mail brings people together, even when they sometimes are far away or even in another country. Being able to be here and provide that service is what keeps me going. Helping people is crucial in this world we live in. The staff and faculty have helped you while you've been here and should be recognized for their efforts. That's why I always include a thank you in my speeches. Thank you, parents, for sharing your talented offspring with us. Thank you to the staff behind the scenes that do what you do to keep campus going. Facilities and grounds for maintaining this beautiful place. Dining services for feeding us. Current crew for always taking care of us and being so chipper. Thank you to the Multicultural Center for being a space that welcomes all. Financial aid folks and the business office staff for all that you do. Development for your fundraising, and admissions, finding us students to continue on the next generation of students. Central Records for updating addresses. Hint, hint. Please contact them with any updates for mailing your things to the right place. I really appreciate that. Thank you to the library staff and the gallery for your space to be so comfortable and creative. Thank you, Lemelson Shop and Film Photo. The work coming out of your locations has been so remarkable. Thank you, Student Engagement and Res Life. Thank you, Campus Safety and Wellbeing. Thank you, professors. Thank you, Hamstore and Duplications. Thank you, Outdoor Program, and to the 5 College Dance Program and Hampshire Theater Department. And thank you to all the volunteers and everyone involved in this commencement day. I'm so proud. How many other places would provide all that we do? Hampshire, that's who. Without you and our founders, we wouldn't be here. We fairly recently lost a great man who had been assigned to acquire the land for this college. Charles Longworth was a huge part of Hampshire's beginnings and very much why we're still here. His care for this place throughout the years showed every time I'd see him attend events on campus. He was our first vice president from 1970 to 1971 and president from 1971 to 1977. The Arts Village has his name and his wife Polly's name adorned on it. I think that's the last place I saw him, at a gathering celebrating folks in his community. Please take a moment to thank and remember him and his family. I also want to thank President Ed for his service to this place too. He was a breath of fresh air for us after uncertain times. We were even movie stars in the same Hampshire film, The Invitation, a Wes Anderson-inspired short piece. Of course I was who delivered the invitation. Who better? Hand-delivered, no less. In all seriousness, thank you, President Ed, for all you've done in your time here. I will miss you and Susan. I wish you the best in your new adventures. Cherish McNeil, I hope I made you proud with my thank you list. Cherish was hoping to be up here on stage today giving her own speech and thank you list. You'll be up here soon, I promise. I hope they pronounce your name right now after they've heard it. Thank you, class of 2025, for attending Hampshire College and for helping us to exist in the way we were made to do. Best wishes to you. Get ready, world. Here comes Hampshire class of 2025.
Thank you, Jim Patton, once again. I would like to now introduce our faculty speaker. Dr. Gina Fass holds a PhD in philosophy and women's and gender studies from Temple University. Her first book, entitled Decolonizing Existentialism and Phenomenology. The Liberation of Philosophies of Freedom and Identity, was published in 2023, and her most recent book is an edited collection entitled I practiced this, I swear. Creolizing Marcuse. This is her second year as a faculty member at Hampshire College. Please welcome Gina Fass.
Dear Hampshire graduates, it is an honor to celebrate you and your individual and collective achievements today. And in the Hampshire tradition, I see today as a celebration of the pursuit of knowledge, but also as a time for reflection on what it means to be in this transitional period and what responsibilities you have as a college graduate. As you move into the world div-free, as a Hampshire College graduate, I urge you to continue to carry with you the reflective and critical practices you have developed here, as well as your commitment to your communities you have engaged, will continue to engage, and will engage in the future. For me, the place where I came to consciousness is marking this week the 40th anniversary of a tragedy. On May 13th, 1985, a date that is always said in full by Philadelphians and has the resonance that 9/11 has in the United States, the city of Philadelphia, via its police force, bombed its own citizens. The Black liberation and environmental justice community move in West Philadelphia. When those not familiar with this history or with the city of Philadelphia learn about this event, they are confused. They ask, how could a city bomb their own people? But with this question, they are thinking about the logistics. They are often really asking, how would it be possible to drop a bomb in a city landscape, in one of the largest cities in the United States? And in prioritizing logistics, they are not asking a moral question, or even a political question, about whether it is just to bomb one's own people and to unleash 10,000 rounds of ammunition into the block MOVE community members lived. Because if this latter question was asked, one might be motivated to inquire whether it is just to bomb people at all. One would also be inspired to ask about the material conditions that enabled a white police chief and a white mayor of Philadelphia to approve the racist and racialized attack on Black Philadelphians. This latter question about the justness, and in this case the lack thereof, of bombing people at all could and should have an enlarging effect. It should affect today, right now, how we think about the genocide being perpetuated against Palestinians, the violent deportation of documented and undocumented people, the imprisoning of people. They are political prisoners, and state violences locally and globally enacted. And you may, in your considerations, be led toward Angela Davis's prescient observation that it has always been a relatively easy matter to persecute the captive whose lives are already dominated by networks of authoritarian mechanisms. Because it is important to know and remember. On that day, May 13th, 1985, 11 MOVE family members were killed by the Philadelphia police, 6 adults and 5 children. 260 plus Philadelphians, primarily Black, lost their homes as a result of the fire ignited by the bomb. The fire department was photographed, standing there in inaction, not putting out the fire, but letting it spread, continuing the violence enacted on MOVE and Black Philadelphians that watched. Locally, everyone watched the aftermath unfold on the news, so while the effects and the affected were of course most importantly MOVE community members, all citizens of Philadelphia were confronted with what Philadelphia, the city and its administrators, would and could do to them, or by contrast, what it would do for them if they complained and were valued. Because remember, not only was this a racist and racialized act, it was a racist and racialized lesson. Whites did not learn the same lesson that Black Philadelphians did. Not all BIPOC Philadelphians learned the same lesson either. And while the date will continue to be painful for Philadelphians, we can follow MOVE in their current directives. Today, MOVE continues to be politically active in Philadelphia. Recently, for example, MOVE members appeared before City Council to lobby successfully for May 13th to be officially declared a day of remembrance for MOVE victims. Mike Africa Jr., who was 6 when his community was bombed, continues to be focused on Black liberation and environmental justice throughout his work, writing of MOVE. We are focused on tending the garden that is our lives. We've been wounded, but we haven't stopped. We're still on a move. You are still on a move. And it is for you to course the intellectual and political course of that movement. Congratulations from all the faculty to the class of 2025.
Thank you, Dr. Gina Fast. I now will introduce our student speakers. Broden Grimm, our first student speaker, is a Div 3 student of geology at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution Summer Student Fellow, and RA, a learning collaborative coordinator, shout out to Environments and Change. For his thesis, he conducted original research on the geologic history of the Alaskan North Slope Basin while collaborating with the United States Geological Survey. Our other speaker, Amber Hart Gonzalez, is a Div 3 student. Amber is a Div 3 student of microscopy, a recipient of the Ingenuity Award, a lover of dance, reading, and very warm weather. For her thesis, she conducted research on a protein that is overexpressed in the brain under pathological conditions through various methods of molecular and cellular biology. Please welcome Amber and Grimm.
What's up, everybody? Does anyone want to do the wave? Anyone want to do a wave at graduation? All right. I think we're gonna start on the left side. I just wanted to do this this morning. Okay, so if you're on the left side, I'm gonna signal, and then we'll do the wave to the right. All right, are we ready? You ready? Okay. All right, thank you for entertaining that. I'll get to it. We are proud to be gathered here today, surrounded by our peers, loved ones, family, friends, and mentors. Today is a day about celebrating community, acknowledging our academic feats, and as Umbar and I see it, the time to start organizing and workshopping our collective power in the next chapter of life. Everyone graduating today knows that our Div 3 projects were forged in labs, studios, stages, libraries, and living rooms. We could not have kept our flames of passion lit without the shelter offered by our communities and those who've supported us in this journey. The Hampshire College class of 2025 is one which has been constructed with our base of the original Fall 21 class, reinforced by students who rallied from the New College of Florida, and cemented by transfer students from across the country. Together, we have played a foundational role in directing the trajectory of this institution in the aftermath and consequences of financial crisis preceding most of our arrivals to Hampshire. This is not a unique story in the 21st century and is all too familiar to institutions attempting to push the bounds of higher education. It is apparent to us that the Hampshire model does not work under our current system of capitalism because it works against it. It is a model that promotes and nurtures its students to chase their ambitions, to create holistic learning experiences of their own, and to question the collective understanding of our areas of scholarship as the class of 2025 has. No one comes to Hampshire to keep their head down and to continue down the path which has been set for us by others. Hampshire is not known for producing millionaires because we are not passionate about pursuing money and materialistic lifestyles made by the exploitation of the labors of others. Hampshire College is not a feeder school because students are not fixing to jump into the jaws of big business or the military-industrial complex. Hampshire students are passionate about investigating the world we share with the intent on making it a better place than when we found it. As many of us know from experience, we are not exactly the type of people to take a neutral position. To know is not enough because our communities, our countries, our planet, and our ideas are constantly in flux over collegiate timescales. To just know is to be passive, and our education has called us to action in the face of racial, economic, and environmental injustice. To be a Hampshire student is to know how to adapt and to excel in unstable economic and social conditions. If you ask us, Hampshire students are just the people you want to be entering the world right now. Creatives, teachers, scholars, inventors, equipped with creative minds, passionate hearts, willing to put the work in.
Hello. I came to Hampshire for the first time 6 years ago. My first time here, I was accompanying my older sister, which some of you may know, Erica Hart. She's over there. They were invited to deliver the keynote speech for the graduating class of 2019. This was the first time I was witness to pushing bounds in higher education. I felt radicalized by the sight of all the students expressing themselves freely, their own existence being an act of resistance against the status quo. I felt radicalized to start making changes in my life as well as the world around me. Erica also delivered her commencement speech at her high school graduation at Caribbean High School. You could say it is destiny for me to be on this stage delivering this speech. Pursuing science at Hampshire has its many challenges, other than lack of funding, faculty, equipment, and among other things. One of the biggest struggles I've undergone is advocating for myself as a young Afro-Latina woman in science. Being in a white-dominated space was a first for me, and I never want someone to undergo the same experience. So I started advocating for myself in these spaces. I started taking up space and not feeling ashamed of doing so. I started to make others feel uncomfortable by my presence. My own existence was resisting being shunned out of spaces I wasn't welcomed in the first place. This is true for a lot of us here today, and this will not be the first or last time we experience it. But now that we have exercised our resistance, we are able to adapt to uncomfortable situations. We, the authors of this speech, believe that the Hampshire experience has equipped us with the knowledge and skills that tackle situations that don't look promising from the beginning. This is especially important as we are yet again at a time where bigoted people are in power and are making decisions for others based on claims of white supremacy and misogyny. Hampshire students are leaving with the toolkit of self-actualization, critical thinking, organizing, mobilizing, community building, and advocacy. All of this to say, you should put your money where your mouth is. There is always major discourse on campus about initiatives that feel performative. We should take the example of the Hampshire College Students for Justice in Palestine and actually start initiatives because we care and want to make a change, and not because it is the right thing to do. When we say free Palestine, Congo, Sudan, Ukraine, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, we say it with a heavy heart, a heart that aches at the thought of our complicitness in active genocide, a heart that aches at the sight of injustice, oppression, and lack of liberation. Liberation for one means liberation for all, and this is how I leave Hampshire 6 years later.
In the spring of 2024, I attended a lecture which focused on the adaptation of Homo sapiens and our ancestors through climate change over the last 200,000 years. This riveting talk was given to us by a professor from Harvard, the Hampshire College of the East, who informed us that the average lifespan of mammalian species was roughly 1.26 million years. His question of the night was, raise your hand if you think humans will live past this average lifespan. I was the only one in the whole lecture hall who had raised their hand, the only Hampshire student in attendance. As a geologist and a climate scientist, I cannot say I was surprised by this outcome. As a young person who is inheriting this earth with my non-hand-raising peers, I found myself angry. For a group of scientists who think regularly on timescales of millions of years, to say we are below average is to say death is on our doorstep. This is not a criticism of my peers, as it is a time for reorientation. Shout out Amherst College Geology. As your 2025 student speaker, I ask that you be willing to change in the face of adversity, because to know is not enough. To know the ins and outs of climate change, racial injustice, gender equality, and the fascism that we face as we leave Hampshire is not enough. If the results, findings, and evidence change your mind, you must use your mind and body to make change. Put yourself into uncomfortable situations now so that the future might be comfortable, alike to what you've practiced at Hampshire. To earn our diplomas, we've had to challenge ourselves and our ideas and to invent our better selves here today. Students who have been metamorphosed by pressure and by our radiating hope. If solutions require radical change of our society and way of life, radically change yourself and your immediate community as you have done here. We need to hold each other accountable, to raise our hands, to put our minds and bodies into motion. If you took the risk to attend an institution which had just clawed and scratched its way back from extinction, you can put yourself to use for our next de-extinction projects. We need people to be willing to be leaders and facilitators of decarbonization, police reform, land back, economic overhaul, and to change our current understanding of what it means to be human. Hampshire students, I need you to continue to be daring, thought-provoking, and provocative to the status quo, as I know you have been. I'm asking you to attack every day so that we can make our planet the place we've envisioned for these last 4 years, so that we can steward our communities into collectives of peace, intellectualism, diversity, and equity for the unforeseeable futures. Future historians will see our mark not as fossilized plastic or a carbon isotope spike, but as a long record of Homo sapiens who continued to adapt. Humans who discovered fire, the fire of our burning passions for our pursuits, which change ourselves and the world for the better.
Quiero coger este momento para ejercitar mi privilegio de hablar español al frente de todos ustedes hoy. Primero, quiero darle homenaje a mi querida abuelita. Iluminada González Torres, daría el mundo para momento con nosotros. Te extraño mucho, pero sé que estás en nuestro alrededor celebrando. Este momento es una celebración de todas nuestras identidades y culturas, y siempre que tengamos el privilegio de celebrar nuestra cultura e identidad, lo debemos hacer con orgullo. Lo hacemos con orgullo porque nuestros ancestros murieron a la mano de personas que vieron nuestra existencia como una amenaza y no querían ver nuestra felicidad. Yo soy boricua y saco la bandera más grande sin vergüenza. Cuando partimos de esta institución, quiero que se lleven con ustedes el corazón lleno de amor, esperanza y fe en la humanidad. Un mundo lleno de amor es un mundo mejor para todos. Siendo graduado por primera vez, siento la presión de tener la vida resuelta, pero no, este momento no es el final, sino el principio. Es el principio de nuestra metamorfosis personal. La persona que eres ahora no es la mejor persona, no es la mejor versión de ti. Tienes mucho por crecer, por alcanzar, por lograr. Y quiero que todos nos demos el espacio para seguir creciendo con la energía del amor que nos rodea. To conclude our speech, we would like to remind you that the milestone we are achieving today is just the beginning of our life journeys. Your Division 3 project is like a slingshot that is headed towards your next endeavor. Don't be so hard on yourself about your div. This was... I know it's hard. This was a year-long project filled with obstacles that all of you faced and successfully overcame. Be proud of what your div became. Regardless of any mistakes or shortcomings you believe you made during your Division 3 project, these will push you towards your improvement in your future. Your project, whatever it may be, was your time for growth, and you will continue to grow throughout your career. Let this be a reminder to all of you that the best way to roam this earth is with kindness. You never know when the human next to you or across from you will need a little smile from a fellow human. Put in the extra work and strive to be kind to others.
Thank you and congratulations!
Thank you, Ambar and Grid. I now will introduce our keynote speaker. I came to this country 10 years ago, in 2015. I would like to thank, as I introduce this keynote speaker, to my parents, to my dad, who came 6 months before we did, to make sure that we came here successfully, and we had a good life and got this education. I would not be alive today, but I would definitely not be at Hampshire without him. So thank you to my dad, thank you to my mom. As an immigrant myself, it is my honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, a Hampshire alum whose life and leadership embody the very values this college stands for. Manuel Castro is a former undocumented child who crossed the border with his mother, and today he serves as New York City's Commissioner of Immigrant Affairs. He is leading the largest municipal immigrant affairs office in the country. When buses of asylum seekers began arriving in New York City, the world took notice. Standing there to greet them was a city official who had been once an immigrant child himself. As families stepped off buses sent by a politically motivated governor in Texas, Manuel welcomed them with dignity, compassion, and hope. Commissioner Castro was a powerful voice on this campus, organizing, speaking out, and mobilizing fellow students into action. After graduation, he built a career rooted in justice and public service. For years, he has been a constant presence in New York City and beyond, organizing campaigns, leading nonprofits, shaping public policy, and serving as a trusted voice for immigrant communities. His advocacy has made him one of the most recognized and respected immigrant leaders in the country. Please join me in welcoming our 2025 commencement speaker, Hampshire graduate, commissioner, and lifelong advocate for justice, Manuel Castro.
Make some noise, Hampshire College! Make some noise for your family and friends out here today! Make some noise for our amazing
amazing staff and faculty. Make some noise for our commencement student speakers. Hampshire graduates, families, friends, faculty, staff, board of trustees. I am tremendously grateful and humbled to stand here today, not just as your commencement speaker, but also as a proud Hampshire alum. As someone who once sat where you sit now, as someone who perhaps might have been a little too ambitious with his Div 3 project. And I was just relieved to be done and that everything worked out. So thank you so much. My Div 3 chair is out here. Wilson, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for getting me this far. And as someone who perhaps might have been tired of living in the mods, trying to make it work, but who, deep down, he'd really miss this crazy, amazing place. You see, while so many institutions out there talk about building the world they want to see, Hampshire College actually does it. No grades, no majors. A place where students are entrusted to lead their own education, to have bold ideas and to take action. Here, you weren't just taught to ask hard questions, but to imagine the world you want and to go build it. And for that amazing experience, I will always be proud to call myself a Hampshire graduate. And before I continue, I want to say thank you to President Ed. I know this is your last graduation. And as a Hampshire alum, I just want to say thank you for having been such a great steward for our college and for truly understanding the spirit of Hampshire. So thank you so much, President Ed, for everything that you've done. I want to also thank the Board of Trustees and our amazing staff for all you do to keep the mission of our Hampshire College alive and going. It has never been more important to have a college like this leading the way in so many ways. So thank you. So to Hampshire graduates, from someone who's been through it, I want to say congratulations, you've made it. We're so proud of you. Give it up for yourselves and your Div 3 committee. Today is a celebration, and you deserve every second of it. Feel joyful, feel proud, take it all in. But if you'll let me, I do want to take this moment to share something very personal to me. Because behind every milestone, there's a deeper journey. And mine began with so much uncertainty. And in time of uncertainty, maybe this will help you see what's possible. You see, when I sat where you sit now, I was still an undocumented student. I was part of the early generation of what became known as dreamers. Children brought to this country without documentation. And on that day, on my commencement, on my graduation, my future felt like a big, impossible question mark. Would I be able to stay in the country? Would my family be torn apart? Would I be able to make a living? The only certain was a life of uncertainty. And yet here I am, living proof that what once felt so impossible can become real. Today, I serve as the Commissioner of the Office of Immigrant Affairs for the City of New York, responsible for the well-being of the largest and most diverse immigrant populations of any city in the country. And proud to be the first formally undocumented person to be appointed to this role. And let me share with you the moment that has shaped this story. Some of my earliest memories as a child are of my mother holding my hand, walking across a harsh desert in the dark of light, on a path only lit by moonlight, scrambling to hide at the sound of a helicopter. I was only 5 years old when I crossed the US-Mexico border with my mother. At one point in the journey, I couldn't breathe. My chest tightened. I told my mother, crying and gasping for air, I couldn't go on. My mother was forced to make the impossible decision. She pulled me off to the side and hid us in a patch of dry brush. She didn't know what would happen next, so she did the only thing she could do. She held me in her arms and prayed to La Virgen of Guadalupe. She whispered in my ear until I fell asleep. A group of people that kept going. My aunt, who was with us, realized we had stayed behind and convinced some of them to turn back. Risking their own lives in that desert, they found us. My mother calls it a miracle, and perhaps it was. That aunt who saved our lives that night, years later, while working in a garment factory in New York, who was caught in an immigration raid. She was detained and she was deported. That was the first time I realized that an 8-year-old that we were truly never safe. I think of my aunt often, especially now, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her courage. And if she was here today, I know she would be incredibly proud of seeing me up on this stage. So Hampshire graduates, if my journey from that desert to this podium feels improbable, remember this: improbable things happen when people show up for each other, just like we are doing today. And the bottom line is this: none of us get here alone. So take a moment to honor the sacrifices of your family, the courage, the love, and the endurance they've shown so that you could be here today. So give it up to everyone who's made today possible for you to be here. As I look back at everything that brought me from that desert to this podium, 3 things have carried me throughout: hope, presence, and purpose. Let me begin with hope. What I learned in that desert and in every moment since is this: hope is not naive. It is not passive. Hope is a powerful force, and hope is a decision you make. It's a choice to keep going when the road disappears. It's what carried my mother across a desert with nothing but her faith. Hope is not the absence of fear. It's the refusal to let fear decide your fate. So Hampshire graduates, remember this: hope will carry you further than fear ever will. Hope is what fuels movements. It's what keeps families together. It's what changes the world. So Hampshire, protect the flame of hope, because cynicism, despair, pessimism, those won't take you very far. And sometimes the most radical thing you can do, the most defiant, the most courageous act, is to keep the flame of hope alive in you and in others. But hope isn't enough. To truly create change, you also have to show up. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do have to be present. That's where real change happens. Growing up undocumented meant living in a constant sense of fear and anxiety. It meant trying to go unseen. It meant hearing the word illegal and wondering if that was meant for you. So I learned to disappear into myself, to stay small, to stay quiet. But even before I knew the language of activism, I knew the feeling of solidarity, how people could show up for strangers in their time of need. A neighbor who helped my mother find work, a teacher who helped me become less anxious, a church community that put their faith into action and embraced us, the faculty and staff that had advocated for me on this very campus to enroll me despite my immigration status. Over my life, I witnessed the constant acts of solidarity that helped my family and community survive. Each act was a reminder that even when the odds are against you, you are not alone. Because in so many ways, that's what life demands of us, Hampshire graduates. And that's what real change making requires. And because in the end, real leadership isn't about perfection, it's about showing up, especially when the path is unclear, especially when the world is so uncertain. And when you show up over and over again, you begin to understand why you're here. Now, hope carries us, presence sustains us, but what gives our journey powerful direction is purpose. But not just any kind of purpose. Purpose that says our struggles, our lives, and our achievements, they're meant to serve others. Service to your communities, to your neighbors, and yes, to strangers. Because if we've learned anything from the immigrant experience, it's this. We don't just endure hardships, we build from it. We face impossible odds, not just to survive, but to build something better. So while my message today is simple, Hampshire graduates, it is not easy. Remain hopeful. Remain hopeful against all odds. Show up. Show up especially when no one else will. And live with purpose, a purpose in service of others. Prior to my current role, I led a nonprofit organization in one of the most diverse immigrant neighborhoods in New York City, serving and organizing some of the most marginalized immigrant communities, day laborers and other informal workers. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the area where we were located was declared the epicenter of the epicenter in the United States, where hundreds of people began to die before anyone had a clear sense of what was happening. And so while the city shut down, we decided to keep our doors open because I knew that for many in our community, we were the only place they could go. One night, as we held a candlelight vigil, reading the names of the friends and neighbors we had lost, I realized that the cavalry was not coming. And despite being deemed essential workers, our communities had been left alone. But we did not give up. We kept hope, and we continued to show up, and we survived. In 2022, only months after my appointment as commissioner, buses began arriving in New York City with thousands of asylum seekers, sent by politicians hoping to make a spectacle from the suffering of humans. There was no instruction manual for what to do, and we had a choice, stand back or show up. So we showed up. We turned the bus terminal into a humanitarian response center, 7 days a week, day and night. I showed up with my team and a group of volunteers, and we helped those arriving, connecting them to shelter and other services. But above all, we gave them a dignified welcome. As people stepped off the bus, their clothes were often still torn and streaked with the dust of the desert. Some had gone days without their medication or a proper meal. And you could see it in their eyes. They had no idea what awaited for them on the other side of that journey. Every time I saw the child holding their parents' hands, I thought of my mother and me. One morning, a volunteer handed me a box of teddy bears. I offered that a little girl, about 5 years old, a bear, and she didn't say a word, and she held it on so tightly. And in that moment, I remember what it felt like to arrive at a welcoming place, to feel a sense of hope that maybe everything was going to be okay. So Hampshire College, that's why it's so important to show up. But Hampshire, I learned to show up way before I had any titles, right here on this very campus. You see, there was a time when I didn't think I'd make it to college, but somehow through grace, through community, through struggle, I made it here. When I was accepted to Hampshire, many schools refused to enroll undocumented students. But Hampshire took a chance, because that's what radical institutions do. At Hampshire, I found people who not only believed in me, but also people I could believe in. People like Maddie Marquez, Flavio Research, Jaime Davila, Margaret Cirillo, Wilson Valentin Escobar, Carol Lynch, Hampshire faculty and staff that without their support, I would have not made it here. So I want to say to all of them, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You see, in those early years of the Dreamer movement, students in my situation were often told we wouldn't be able to make it to college. And in fact, that we shouldn't speak out, that we shouldn't organize. It was just too dangerous. But we refused to believe that. So we came together and built a movement that imagined something different. In my first year here at Hampshire, I organized a bus from this campus to New York City as part of the Immigrant Workers' Freedom Rights, an effort inspired by the civil rights movement of early generations. Most of my friends here still didn't know I was undocumented and how much of a risk this was for me. Getting arrested would have meant being separated from my family. But I knew the importance of the moment, not just for me, but for other students and students that came after me. So I showed up, and my friends showed up, and it meant everything. It meant the movement was real. And as a student here, those experiences shaped what I studied and every question I asked. What happens to a democracy when millions are denied a voice? What does liberation look like when your humanity is in question? How do communities build systems when they have been forgotten? Questions still very much relevant today. But most importantly, Hampshire taught me to turn research into action. I learned here, you don't owe the world your silence. You owe it your voice. You owe it your vision. You owe it your fight. Because somewhere out there right now, there's another undocumented student, afraid that their story makes them unworthy. And you have a chance to show them otherwise. So let me speak directly to dreamers and their families graduating today. At Hampshire and across the country, you did it. You're graduating today, and no system, no hateful person, no politician can take that away from you. And you are not alone. You will not be left alone, because we are here with you. So to everyone graduating today, here's my call to action. Whether you're an immigrant or not, whether your family crossed the desert to get here, or you're the first one to go to college, remember this: your story has power, and your voice can light the way for someone else. And yes, I understand that we're in a time of crisis. Democracy is under real threat. Inequality is steepening. Misinformation is everywhere. And fear is being weaponized like we haven't seen before in modern history. But I want to encourage you, Hampshire graduates, when the path ahead looks uncertain, and just as dark as that desert I crossed with my mother. Take a breath and show up anyway. Because the most transformative victories often begin with someone saying, I don't have all the answers, but I'm here. Let's figure it out together. People don't need you to save them. They need you to show up, to say you matter. You are not alone, especially when no one else will. So Hampshire graduates, I know that you know something about uncertainty. You began college during a global pandemic. You studied through a time of great uncertainty, but you stayed and you persisted and you kept showing up. That is not just an accomplishment, that's a statement. It says who you are in the world that you want to build. So Hampshire graduates, go forward not with fear, but with great hope, because the stakes are high and we need you. Go build a world where no child fears a knock on the door, where families don't cross the deserts to find dignity, where your humanity isn't conditional, a world where no life is illegal, a world where education, healthcare, and housing is available to all, where justice and due process is not the exception, but is the expectation. James Baldwin, who lived and taught on this very campus, said, "The place in which I'll fit will not exist until I make it." So go make it, Hampshire graduates. Make the world more just, more free, more beautiful. Show up, keep hope, and build the world we all deserve. Congratulations, Hampshire College. Congratulations, graduates. Si se puede. Yes, we can. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again to Manuel Castro. Thank you, Manuel Castro. I now will introduce our alumni speaker. Julie Schechter came to Hampshire as a transfer student in 1971 and graduated with the first full class. It's so cool. She went on to be overeducated before getting sucked into the bottomless pit that is the nonprofit world. This is the last of her 8 years as a member of the Board of Trustees, and she's proud to be graduating with Ed, so to speak.
Thank you, Zane. And I wanted to say that Zane has served as the student representative of the Student Experience Committee, which has been the committee that I've chaired for the past several years. And I appreciate her input and help on that committee. I also want to find out who scheduled me to speak after Manny. It's entirely unfair, and I want to thank him for those very moving and astonishing words. Salutations to all of you parents, friends, faculty, staff, supporters of all ages and connections, to Pres Ed, to my fellow trustees, and especially to you graduates. Oh, thank you. I forget how short I am. Thank you for access to your ears for what we all hope will be just a few minutes. For the alumni toast, what I want to say that this awful moment is what we Hampshire grads were made for. You could have gone someplace that told you what you needed to do to graduate, a place that set out your 4 years, and what they needed of you was to attend class, remember some of what you heard, and then figure out how to repackage it on the test. But no, you picked a place that you needed to figure out what was going on every step of the way. You fought against the insecurity of Well, was I crazy to go here to begin with? And how do I put all of those things that I love in one basket that will get me through Division III? You figured it out. And that's what's called for in this scary moment. Figuring it out. And you guys are the ones to do it. Go ahead and be pissed that we, your elders, did not leave you a cleaner house. We did our best, and it needed to be better. And I, for one, dearly hope that you have seen the error of our ways. The point is that we're not going to get out of this war that we are in right now against all we hold dear by doing what we're told. And you only succeeded at Hampshire by being brave, scared, experimental, and occasionally obnoxious. You probably knew how to be all that before you got here, but I hope that Hampshire, in all its conflicted and inadequate glory, has given you the tools to go out and change all those things that do need changing. And man, I'm gonna leave some things out here, but racism, ableism, transphobia, sexism, xenophobia, superiority of all sorts, downright disrespect, and let's not leave out autocracy. Don't you dare get discouraged. You are not gonna see the changes we need right away. Hey, I grew up in the South during Jim Crow, so you can't tell me that nothing ever gets better, even if not all better. But you are the people who won't let things stand. Let them slip. Let them stay as they are. You are the stubborn brats who not only insist that what we are living through is foul and wrong, and you have much company in that, but that you are going to make it right. You will. Get out and work on it, please. We need you. To the graduates of 2025, and mind you, not the class of 2025, thank you for all that you are about to achieve.
Thank you, Julie, for speaking. As a board member and as an alumni, I would like to say that our stances have been clear and the board has heard us and they have more to do. And that's all I can say. Now I can say, teşekkürler, shukran, gracias for coming. Will the graduate students please wait for your row to be called by the usher in the aisle in preparation to receiving your degree? We did it!
President Wingenbach, I commend to you these students who have satisfactorily completed the requirements prescribed by the faculty of Hampshire College and are qualified to receive the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Broden Grimm. Ambar Hart Gonzalez. Zainab Jada Urekli. Ben Morrison Becker. Oak Grant. Clive Harold Rudolph. Sylvia May Schofer. Shar Kilroy. Anya Kraus. Mackerel Flynn Caswell. Ella Jade Levy. Justice Flynn Mitchell Burris. Xavier Quinn Chadwick. Masawa L. Crystal Joanne Bedrick. Anais Grace. Tyler Klupney. Casper Bennett. Leo Zhang. Ali Claystribe. Ashton Bird. Emma Louise Norman. Claire Catherine Cece Murphy Petrie. Henry Kors. Caspian Michael Rizzo. Kaya Crawley. Shanti Frenzoni. Esteban Duran Mejia. Jordan Tarbutton. Charlie Bradbury St. John. Conrad Schweiger. Ben Lyons Gelzer. Drew Gillentine. Amelia Rose Vetter. Andrew Malcolm Amendolia Webb. Pierce Doherty. Isaac Rubin. Colin Silva. Alex Robinson. Leo Giannini. Aiden Michael Collins. Margaret Bloomgarden. Claire Elgebetta Brousseau. Elena Maria Suardi. Halima Saudia. Jess Lynn Jimenez. Gwendolyn Niles. Moss Cursino Thieler. Weatherly Rhodes Lynn Adams. Yali Hila Felix Brote. Jonathan Patrick White. Kenna McLeod. Mila Dorji. Gio Zachariah. Margot Ruth Walsh. Bodie Elsis Liveright. Troy Luther Rinker III. Ivan William Ellingson Clow. Isaiah Woods. Alex Zaya. Della Levere. Xander Robbie. Haley Feinberg. Elsa Turgay Wood. Chao Anbo. Tu Ho. Harley Chenadella. Guinevere Moriarty. Cassidy Wilson. Alicia Ross. Colin Daniel Giles. Celia Ann Lucci. Graham Mariah. Armene Margosian. Annika Ray Johnson. Naomi Armijo Martinez. Karim Barrett. Connor Ewan Patrick Karskaden. Brianna Janelle Consul. Jalila Wiggins. Marsha Malayas. Mads Quinlan Cooper Nicholson. Kadilak. Finn Farrell. Stella Jane Antonia Autumn Roseboro Boris. Phoebe Yashin Chen. Maria Lucero Diaz Valiente. Zephyr Katayan. Barry Seth. Catherine Holtz. Alexa Doss Cyprit. Emma Elizabeth Curtis. Libby Harity. Philip Jo. Emily Anderson. Grace Elizabeth O'Donnell. Isabel Alves Campisi. Catherine Elizabeth Brown. Casey Judith Bates. Caitlin Anne-Marie Bates. James Edward Lawler. Aiden Hugh. Jonathan Martinez Abadi. Diego Perez. Avery Minot. Emma Colby. Cherish McNeil. Sophia Scalini. Kyla Danielle Clemens. Luz Carla Suarez Burgos. Halden. Aryan Prakash Raval. Rob Saladay. Rosa Smith Ortiz. Shelbs Brown. Lydia Corby. Lynx Dennis. Jada Amor Vasquez. Tiani Thorne.
I think you have to commend them.
What's that?
Don't you have to commend them for that?
I did that.
You already did that? All right. All right. Is everybody back? Yes? Okay. Deep breaths. Attention, everyone. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts prepare for your degree to be officially conferred? On behalf of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Hampshire College, it is my pleasure, honor, and privilege to confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and responsibilities which pertain. You're now graduates. Jim Patton, will you close these commencement exercises?
The commencement exercises this 17th day of May 2025 are concluded.